morning and welcome to Enterprise Morning on Enterprise Television. Start today with the latest happening in the country and beyond with our insightful analyses and expert opinions. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise Television and visit our website at www.enterprisetvnews.com. I am Choma Okoye.
And I'm Cyril Abaku. Yeah. Choma, good morning to you.
Good morning. It's a beautiful Monday morning to do this with you.
Of course it is, especially after, a long, short weekend. You're back.
Short indeed.
Especially because we hardly ever enjoy the weekends.
True.
But we're back here to give our viewers the very best of content and broadcasting on a Monday morning.
Yeah.
So if you don't mind, let's head straight into the newspaper review segment. But before then, let's also inform you that our guests for this morning newspaper review segment are two gentlemen who are not new to your screen. We have Barrister Tunji Abdulhamid. Barrister, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me. It's my pleasure to be with you.
And of course, after a long distance, after a long while on the bench, he's back on the pitch. Mr. Shison Kwade.
Yeah, thank you very much, Cyril and Shoma. Glad to be back again. It's been a little while.
Yeah.
Visited the studio.
It's such a joy to have you. You know, make your debut in a brand new.
Yeah, let me say congratulations to that. At least we're given a face, and it actually shows that we are progressing.
Thank you very much.
The place to start the way is on Enterprise TV.
All right, so let's head straight into the newspaper segment for this morning. We're beginning with a story that came out over the weekend, in which a certain 729 billion naira is being called into question as to how it was spent by the former Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, purportedly used to feed school children. And the court is saying, look, you've got to go back and give us a register of the 24 million Nigerians you claim benefited from that fund. 729 billion naira is no mean sum. That's a princely amount. What do you think of this? Let me begin the barrister.
Yeah, I am not so surprised about the allegation or whatever query they have been put up. You see, we have said it severally that you can't be throwing out money in a country where there is no data. You can't be saying you are feeding a student while they are even in their houses. You remember during the COVID-19 2019, we were told the students are being fed even while they were in their houses. And we are asking questions, who are these people that is being given this money? You see, when you say vulnerable are being given 5,000, 10,000, what I see in those kind of programs is just an avenue to just make people make money. Because if you look at if I ask you now to just give me 10 people that you know that have benefited from this program, you may not be able to tell me. So the same thing applies to Choma, the same thing to my chartered accountant. He may not be able to tell me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people I know have benefited. Even let's even assume that they're not considered that they benefited from it. How has that changed their life? So rather, those who are to implement the project will get millions of naira, while those who the project are meant for will be collecting 5,000, 10,000, 3,000. You recall the one that threw out the suspended Minister of Humanitarian Affairs. You know, we are told that 500 million plus are being used as verification. Verification to do verification exercise.
Yes. To
verify those who will collect 5,000, 3,000, 10,000 or whatever. So and yet nothing is done. So I'm not surprised when you create avenue, when you create a situation, a system where people can have direct access to cash or to money without any record, without any data to be able to. So I don't even see anything difficult in this thing. You are giving money out to people, you must have a record. So it's fine. It's something that once it's asked, they don't know how to ask you. It's not take you 1 minute.
Yes, to produce the data, especially because the money was really humongous.
Yes.
Let's come to the accountant in the room. From your experience of money management, handling money, especially public finance, what does it tell you when? Because I remember back then, what the minister said was that the people that were giving these monies to were proud or felt that it would shame them to be revealed as being poor and therefore being the beneficiaries of the government largesse. And one would say, if you have such pride in your pocket, why don't you put it on the table, put a knife to it, put cutlery on it, and feed yourself?
Cyril.
Is that argument even tenable?
Cyril, let me just say the truth. What my friend said is, I adhere to it. When you look at the way we manage funds in this country, it's quite interesting. So somebody coming out to give you that excuse to say, don't place my data, don't display my identity. We are not even asking you to display identity now. Do you know there are ways we truncate, account numbers when you transfer? There are ways you truncate phone numbers. You will start and possibly take the last 6 digits of that particular phone number. What we've been asking for, you see, people like us have actually been attacked on the premise that even the data we're talking about, it's not only for the government. For private sector, for other arms of people that contribute to the economy. Let's have this data so that people can see where they can plug in. We all saw what happened during COVID-19. It's a major exposure of the lapses of things going on. Look at the private sector, the humongous investment they had from what they should have contributed, considered as their impact on their bottom line, contributed it, and we saw a lot of government functionaries ordering those things, food stuff that are meant to be shared to people. You see, the major problem I've seen in this country, because I've had cause to call out the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs severally on different fora, that the last we heard of it was the excuse of the woman. I don't know, I don't visit the courts, but my friend does. Possibly there are cases that they brought before the courts to say, this is what we are, accusing this woman from. This is what we have done to say. But what we've seen is that she's been suspended, and that will be the end of the story. You'll come back 3, 4, 5 years later. You'll see her either contesting to be House of Rep or Senate. Or if possible, she can even run
with a high chance of winning anyway.
Of course, because behind the scene there will be other things. See, until we are serious and have that will that can speak to the aspect of corruption. These figures you've had, people will come defend it. Nothing will happen. During the COVID, when the children were at home and were being told that they were feeding them, did you hear anybody being punished for that? Until we start having consequences for wrongdoing, that's when we can start it. That's why you see in every strata you want to talk about, because there are no punishment. People come, build on it, look at the lapses, and see how they can. It's just like your profession. You come in and see where are we starting from. Okay, it's like this is the base. I know they've just engaged me, I must add value to it. Same is with the corruption. Because there are no punishments. Somebody is okay, that one stole 10 billion and they didn't even do him anything now. Okay, which way did he do? Let me now see how I can go ahead and see if I can make 50
Now, you just
billion.
raised a very valid point now, because we are managing our time. Looking at SERAP as an organization, SERAP have tried to actually, because SERAP was actually set up so that they could help to challenge the government when it comes to issues of corruption, poverty, inequality, and discrimination. Now, the challenge we have in a country where corruption is high and disobedience to the rule of law here in Nigeria, do you think SERAP is doing a good job? And on a scale of 1 to 100, would you say SERAP have met up to its objective and goals? Because they are supposed to even answer to Nigerians after they bring these people to book and question them on how they use this money. At the end of the day, we just hear them asking them to actually give a feedback, but at the end of the day, we don't get a follow-up conversation after that. Starting with you, let me start with you, Vice Atunji Abdullahi.
Let me first of all start from SERAP. SERAP should be commended. They have been very, very focal in terms of asking questions regarding accountability. They have been living up to their name. They have been asking a lot of questions. They've been asking a lot. They've taken a lot of litigation. Even though some of them I see it unnecessary. Some of them are just mere paper and publicity stunts. But notwithstanding, they've done. If 20% of us are doing what the charity is doing, maybe Nigeria will not be like this. They've gone to court, they've gotten so many judgment or order, and then to enforce it. It's not their problem. It's for the government. But who are you fighting? Who are you asking to do? All the questions have been asked against the government, and the same government as you are asking to enforce that order. So it's pathetic that what SERAP are doing the results are not showing because they are being frustrated by the system. But commendation should be their ticket. For me, I will give them that. They've done fantastically well. If everybody or most Nigerians are doing what they are doing, Nigeria will not be what it is today. The humanitarian ministry or minister that has been suspended, I'm not aware that any case is filed against her. And because that's what we do. We'll find a way around to keep them apart. Look at former Minister Kemi Adeosun. You don't hear them file any case against her. They will just give in an exit. Just go. And that's all. And after 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, she may come back in another form. And then they forget what has happened before now. Now they'll be asking you to bring the record or bring any case where she was convicted of any crime. That's what we are in this country.
Thank you. Social Credit, do you believe otherwise?
No, Sam, I think we must commend Sarah because if aside the litigations that my friend has spoken about, just even give you the information, like I was telling everyone, the major problem we have when you talk about insecurity is because people give certain set of people information about individual, and that's what Sarah is doing. If Sarah do not blow the trumpet, you and I will not even have a clean. We can only be assuming, but they come out with some facts and substantiate some of those things. So I think we need more organizations who can speak out, come out objectively. Because at times we have people who cannot substantiate information and just bring it out for discussion. Those ones I call distraction. But most of the information that comes from Sarah are being validated, and you can at least speak to it that they are actually doing the work. So I will join the line of my friend to say they are really doing well. We expect more of these NGOs or CSOs to come up and do the same.
That is the area where I always disagree. Asking, calling for CSO, NGO, this and that. Then call Nigerians. It's not for SEO, it's not for CEO or whoever. Our responsibility as Nigeria is to hold government to account. It's not be left to any other person. Don't be looking for an activist. Where are the lawyers? Where are as if I am being paid for to do activism? It should be our responsibility. One of the major responsibilities.
When the lawyers speak out, the accountant come out to help you examine.
So that's when we take one series on the evidence now, we will see a lot that require us to intervene as Nigerians collectively. Choma, do you want to begin the point?
Let's start with the Punch newspaper. The big story here. First scarcity looms as depot raise petrol price to 720 naira per litre. And we have about 2 riders to that particular story. Filling stations raise petrol price as depot now sells 720 naira per litre, says Ipman. And the NNPC officials storm Lagos depot, asks marketers to prioritize Abuja.
Well, again, still on the Punch, we go to the lower strip of the paper. The first reader says, universities boil again as FG, ASU meet workers, protest Tuesday. Okay,
still on the lower strip of the Punch newspaper, mother-daughter killed in Ogun gas explosion, 2 hospitalized.
And of course, on the last strip of the Punch, this story comes saying, flooding, FG activates state's emergency centers. Governors order evacuation.
Now let's move into page 32. That story is quite an interesting one on the budget. Federal government releases 1.2 trillion naira for capital projects.
And of course, right below that is ECOWAS, Senegal, Togo presidents to woo Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso back into the fold. Of course, the last story on the Punch's front page is on the story we just took. It says poverty alleviation, court orders, poverty alleviation, that was really, court orders Buhari's minister to explain 729 billion naira disbursement.
Okay, we've talked about that. Now let's talk about the release of 1.2 trillion naira for capital projects. This is about a a year now, the new government got into power, and they actually done with the supplementary budget. Now they're releasing 1.2 trillion for capital projects. Let me start with you, Session Kwade. You are in line with finance, so I believe you have an understanding to capital projects. What are we going to say about this project administration? Nigerians have not felt any project, not to talk more of releasing 1.2 trillion for capital projects. How far do you think that can go?
Yeah, you see, when you talked about releasing funds and a few things that they're about, I think my major challenge is we lack monitoring of activities. And that's why you see corruption growing every now and then. See, when you disburse funds and it's meant for a specific project, you are supposed to monitor it. And you see, there is a gap I'm observing of recent. When you talk about our road infrastructure, you ask yourself, roads are supposed to be, constructed to specification and to last for a specific number of time. At the federal, at the state level, most roads that are constructed these days does not even last 3 months. And I have a practical example to give to it. Just at the downpour of the rain, everywhere gives way. And you ask yourself, these are taxpayers' money. Who monitors? It's as if somebody just come and paint the road rather than actually putting certain, material that should sustain. I always refer to those days when the likes of our elders, when they built road. This road lasted for, in fact, some of them, the road are still there, not given away. And you discover that roads that are constructed because part of the capital project that you talked about, the road infrastructure, which is supposed to enhance good network, which you are not getting. But truth be told, that the area that I feel that we are lacking is that when they disburse funds, we hardly monitor the quality delivery. I ask who are those that are in charge of quality assurance of some of these projects. Not only even are we talking about road infrastructure, even buildings that are meant for government agency, you discover that even when you increase the cost and nobody is asking, do you even deliver to specification? Do people monitor it? Those are areas we should call out those quality assurance people. What are they doing? Because if you disburse 1.2 trillion now, I'm telling you that by the time you be getting to next month, this same set of projects, I have projects within my constituency that were done not too long ago.
And they've caved in again.
They've caved in when it comes to road. And you imagine if you go and investigate the amount that was spent on those roads and the number of time, that means people will go through that are cheap again, because when they are constructing road, it's just like this Lagos-Ibadan Expressway when it was constructed. You and I know what we faced. I'm sure, my friend, a lot of us had to abandon several areas where we're going. You do so many things online. So now talk about the cost. Because there are certain costs we don't attach to the wastages when it comes to time. Look at those productive traffic when those things are actually happening. It impacts on the whole. The major issue I always see is that there is no monitoring to every activity. So you hear about disbursement and the projects are not executed. Those that are executed are below standard and nobody is actually being brought to justice. So we always see those things happening and they will move on.
Well, for the sake of time, I would like for us to move quickly to the next story, which is the banner headline on the Punch. It says, fuel scarcity looms as depots raise petrol price to 720 naira per litre. I think it was around late last week we began to get feelers that there was about to be another round of fuel. In fact, in Abuja, accused were returning, and now this has come to the surface. But Tunji, is it rocket science for an oil-producing country to have self-sufficiency in essentially in consumption of PMS, basic PMS for road travels for motor use?
It is not. Then when you are not doing what you are supposed to do, it is.
It's like saying when it is Nigeria, right?
I'm not. That your word.
But we've been at this for 20 years.
You are right. In Nigeria, we expect miracles rather than do the right thing to get results. We do the same thing the same way, and we expect a different result. I'm not surprised. Why we are doing that? It's deliberate, and it's becoming a rocket science because people at the end of affair are benefiting from it. When you import this importation of a thing, you remember what we were fighting before now is that some people are collecting subsidy and they are not delivering anything. That was why they say subsidy must go. And then when the subsidy is gone now, and we're all seeing the implication of the subsidy is gone. But what we're supposed to do is not to say subsidy should go. It's for us to punish those who are alleging or have been alleged to have collected those subsidy money and not delivering results based on that subsidy. But rather than do that, we now leave the 10 about or 20 people or 100 people to benefit what they're taking, and then go and say, okay, let's move on. Let the people suffer for the consequences of their acts. You see, you talk about road construction. Why you say that? Let me take Lagos for example. For instance, for years we have been told the contract has been awarded for Lagos Ibadan road, and it's not been done. Are we saying for those years money were not paid to anybody? Are you getting my point? I'm not talking about now. Talking about before now. The article have been told that things have been done. So before that time that we have been told that nothing is done, and the contract has been awarded. Are you saying no money was paid to anybody? Because I'm not seeing anybody being asked to come and answer questions as to where is this money that was meant for this project. So what I'm trying to say is that we're in a country where people are not punished. And so, and this NNPC of 18, the scarcity of 18, I'm not surprised. We have been told before now that this price we are paying, or the payment per liter we are paying, is not the right price. And if we are to pay the right price, we'll be paying 1,000 plus because of the landing cost. And so, indirectly, we have been told that subsidy is indirectly bad. So, when you have the same set of people who have been alleged to have contributed to the downfall of the system, at the end of the same system, what do you expect?
There's no choice.
Those personnel handling NNPC or who are in charge of NNPC are almost the same set of people who have been there for years. The current GMD, am I correct? The current GMD was there when it was called NNPC. Now it's been changed to NNPC Limited.
And it cost us about 2.something trillion.
You see the same person that is there. So how do you expect a different thing from somebody who has done something and has not gotten the result, and you still retain him to continue to do it? So you can't get it. You can't be doing the same way and expect a different result. I'm not surprised that we're having this.
Okay, thank you. Without wasting much time, let's get into our next daily. And the next on our decks is the Nation newspaper. ECOWAS re-elects Tinubu, mobilizes for standby force.
Perhaps, I mean, if we were to even end with that story for the segment, I wanted to quickly come to the two of you. If you can wrap this in 60 seconds each. The president has been re-elected ECOWAS chairman at a time the tripartite Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger have all but broken all away to form their own confederation. Do you see, Mr. President, being able to muster the sort of unity that West Africa was, has always been known for, being as Nigeria's president, be able to galvanize the bloc together, entrench democracy and good governance, and make sure that the peoples of West Africa derive the benefit of democracy?
Well, I will always say the answer, which is my personal view. In my dialect, they will say you need to start from home. Maybe I will say it to some. As in, you bring out the best from
charity begins at home. Yes.
So if we don't have unity within our own system, and you are being nominated to go out and enforce unity among people, even when you try everything within your reach, they will throw backwards at you to say, can you please tidy up your own
backyard
and take care of what is happening? Because every day by day, we see the level of insecurity, injustice, unfair treatment to people, corruption increasing, and you can verify, and that on its own, it's a negative PR, if you ask me, on your part. So it's when you're successful that they will ask you that, okay, being the chairman, we can listen to you, because we can see things working backwards. So I think Mr. President needs to look internally and see the best that they can make out of what we have as a nation, which will give him the good image when he gets out there to lead as a chairman.
Yes, but Latunji, do Nigerians really ever get to benefit anything when our president becomes ECOWAS chairman? What's in it for us?
Not even only Nigeria. I don't see anything in it for anybody in Africa, and that's why those Saharian or whatever are not bothered about turning back when they were suspended. They were suspended, and as it is now, in fact, they have been dead.
No, they've been dead.
So indirectly, they are saying we have accepted your military administration. If in one particular country, Senegal, they are even happy about their military man in charge. Yeah, they are comfortable with it. So
No, that's Burkina Faso, I think.
I think it's Burkina Faso.
Senegal, was almost tipping over before they had to do elections. So Senegal is a democracy.
I see Burkina Faso. Yeah, I know one of them. It's been accepted by the people, and people are saying, look, this is since they have been up, this guy has been doing well, and he needs to continue. So I'm talking about the guy that always wear a red cap. What is the name? I can't remember again. So for me, is the ECOWAS or whatever is just there for just ceremonial purposes. They don't have anything. It's just simple unity. They've not been able to create among them. There is no easy access to do business within the member country.
Yeah.
I want to go to one of the member countries now, I have to obtain visa, do this and that. Wow, we now collaborating. What are we doing? So there's nothing, and if you talk about democracy, those who will lead and our country that will lead, are we practicing democracy? I'm not sure. What I'm sure of that we are practicing civilian rule. I'm not sure whether we are truly in a democratic system. So for me, it's just there. ECOWAS is just there for just a mere ceremonial purposes. They are not doing anything.
Okay.
Well, Chairman.
Yeah, at this point, I want to say a very big thank you, Barrister Tunji Abdulami and Sheso Okwade. Thank you for joining us this morning. It's been an interesting and enlightening one.
I think it would be great to have both men stay back for the main conversation segment.
Yeah, we can actually. Okay.
Yeah, so when we return, 2 journalists and their families abducted by bandits in Kaduna State. Stay with us.
Yes.